This is Dan Dix here reporting for Press for Truth here in Acapulco for the 2018 Anarchapulco, and I am joined by the one and only Jeff Berwick, the man of the hour. Jeff, this is by far the best conference. You've outdone yourself this year. It's really going well. How do you think it's been going?
Yeah, it's really been amazing this year. I think this is the first year it's just exploded. Before this, some people knew about it, some people came. This is our fourth one. 4 years ago we had about 150 people for the first one. You were there, I believe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then 300 the next year, 600 last year. We're over 1,500 this year. We added on a whole health and wellness before the conference with ayahuasca and the yoga, meditation, combo, all kinds of stuff. A lot of hippies came for that, and then we had so many great speakers this year, including Ron Paul himself. Yeah. And of course we have a one-day Anarchapulco called Cryptopulco, which is all blockchain related. And of course, the cryptocurrency space has exploded in the last year. So everything seems to just have exploded all in this last year, and as you can see, it's been pretty amazing.
What do you think is causing this growth in the momentum? Is it just that freedom and liberty are so popular and growing, was there a catalyst to this? I mean, it's exciting, it's amazing. What's going on?
I think there's a lot of different things going on. If you look at Murray Rothbard in the 80s, he said he thought there was maybe 15 libertarians, not even anarchists, libertarians in the entire world. That was 40 years ago. Even Larkin Rose in his talk said about 20 years ago he knew 3 anarchists in the entire world. Now look at how many there are. And for people out there who don't know what the word anarchy means, it just means voluntary. It means you don't believe you aggress against other people. Of course, what they tell you on the mainstream media television programming isn't quite exactly what it is. Yeah, I think that's really, it's just taking off in so many ways. People are just waking up to this. And there's so many different reasons it's taking off as well. The cryptocurrencies are really an anarcho-capitalist creation, really. And it was designed initially right in the Bitcoin white paper, essentially, to destroy central banks and governments. And so us anarchists have been in it since pretty much day one. I found out about it in 2011, and so many others are. So in the last year, a lot of people have been really into that, and they got more money, they can come to Acapulco. Mm-hmm. And but I think in general, if you look at what I just said about Murray Rothbard, Larkin Rose, they hardly knew any real true freedom lovers in the world even 10, 20, 30 years ago. You can just see the exponential growth happening right now. Even since I started my show, Anarchast, in 2011, it was really small. I was like, I don't know if there's enough anarchists to even interview. Yeah. And every year I just see it growing. It's really an exponential growth. And Ron Paul was here speaking yesterday, and he brought up his sort of famous quote that, who knew freedom is popular?
Yeah.
And it is. I think people just don't understand what it is, and they've been told so many lies through the government indoctrination camps called schools, the television programming. It's called programming for a reason. It's literally brainwashing, all that sort of stuff. They go to college, they get all this bad information put into their heads. They think anarchists break windows and throw riots and stuff like that. Everything they believe is actually the opposite of what's actually true. And more thanks to the internet, thanks to people like yourself putting out good information, not the mainstream media, actual real good information. People are getting access to information, and they're starting to wake up. Yeah.
Well, as you mentioned with the exponential growth, this seems that, by this time next year, this is going to probably be at least twice the size, I would imagine. And are there anything, you guys are probably already starting to plan for next year, but what sort of things do you think Anarchapulco can bring in the future? So many things going on, but what sort of things do you think people can expect next time?
Well, one thing that happened this year that was kind of interesting is 2 weeks ago I get a WhatsApp from Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah. And I was a huge fan of theirs in the 90s, one of the guys from Wu-Tang, and I don't even know how he got my number. And he said, hey dog, we want to come down there and perform at your conference because we want to learn more about crypto anarchy. Yeah. So, all this stuff is happening. So we actually had an amazing concert with Wu-Tang Clan, Eric July and Backwards, an amazing club. So I can actually see this developing more into way more than a week sort of festival of all kinds of things, whether it be health and wellness related, meditation on the beach. They're doing that all the time here. Concerts, music, all kinds of things going on. There seems to be people are just gravitating to this right now, which is really good because we really need that because, of course, as you know, the globalist status are really, it's never been worse, really, in many ways, in their total domination and enslavement of humanity. So this is sort of like, thank God this is waking up now, because we're getting close to, if people don't wake up soon, this is all going to be over pretty much.
Yeah, totally. And freedom is an incredibly unpopular and beautiful thing. And what better of a place to do it than in beautiful Acapulco, Mexico? So kudos to you, man. Stellar job. Thanks once again.
Thank you, Dan.